I'm sorry, you must be mistaken, new friend. I was born David Vickers. I became David Vickeroshi. I've never been David Buchanan.
Well, I hate to break it to you, son, but in point of fact, you were born David Buchanan. Because the truth is that Ace Buchanan is your biological father, which makes you the missing Buchanan heir.
Oh, my husband is Ace Buchanan's illegitimate son? Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am, I am. Ace has told me his own self.
But we have been down this road before, remember? With your brother?
Asa was clear as a bell. David Vickers is his biological son.
Well, now, if that's true, that means that Clint and Bo are his...
Are my brothers. This is amazing. I lost my brother Spencer, but I have gained 2 new brothers. And Nora, an ex-sister-in-law. And Natalie, a niece. But how can this be possible?
Well, it seems that your mama, Emma Bradley, had 2 different liaisons with Asa. One was before your brother was born, and the second one was 9 months before you were born.
So that means Spencer
is Ned Truman's child, but you are Ace's boy.
Ace's boy. I am a Buchanan. And I have a family.
I'm just curious, Mr. Calhoun. Ace has been dead for a year, and if, as you say, he told you himself that David was his son, why have you waited so long to come forward? And why now, Mr. Calhoun?
Well, I think I'll let Asa explain that. Now, I believe this hotel has a conference room.
Right down the hall. Come along, darling. Don't you want answers?
You knew, didn't you? You all knew. This is unbelievable. David is your brother. He's Ben's brother. He's my brother-in-law.
You know, there's a lot.
And that's all she wrote. Your daddy left this DVD as a codicil to his last will and testament. And before you ask, it's the real McCoy. Bonded and accredited. Now, as to the terms, due to last year's downturn and the losses incurred by B.E., Asa has cut his family out of the will and left his entire estate. His house, his money, and his company. All of it. To you, David.
Okay. Now this all makes sense.
David, are you all right? This is quite a lot to take in. You have found your family and inherited a huge fortune. It's all good. You're going to get the company, the house, all the assets, everything is yours.
You know, I am sure Uncle David is extremely overwhelmed. I know I am. I mean, you've just become a Buddhist, which is totally cool. But Buddhists, they aren't interested in money or corporations. You know, if Grandpa were alive, I know he would be so proud of you.
Yes, Asa was a generous man. I'm sure he knew he could count on you to do the right thing.
All right, can we just stop this right here? Thank you very much. I really think it's inappropriate to try and get David to divest of something he hasn't even had the time to itemize.
No, he's got you for that, doesn't he?
Yes, he most certainly does. Because I am his wife. Frankly, I think we should all be applauding David. He's just been told that he's inherited a huge fortune, and he's accepting it with grace and humility. So I think it's really inappropriate for you to pressure him to give up something that you lost due to your own inadequacy.
And what are you pressuring him to do, Dorian?
I would never pressure my husband.
And how long have you and the Buchanan heir been married, Dorian?
Soulmates don't have a timeline.
So then why bother to make it legal now? I mean, he'd just become a Buddhist. You had to sign over all of your things just to persuade him, so... Well, unless, of course, you had a vested interest.
Of course I have a vested interest. I'm his wife. I'm very interested in making sure my husband's interests are protected. And obviously, all of you were trying to hide the truth about his paternity from him so that you could steal his inheritance.
Dorian, nobody stole anything.
Oh, really? Then why is he only finding out the news now?
Well, now, that's a very good question, Dorian.
I have made a decision. Mr. Calhoun, thank you for telling me the truth. Clint, Bo, my brothers, thank you for your concern. I know you only have my best interests at heart. Viki, my best friend, you've been watching out for me. I appreciate that. And everyone else, thank you for your support. This has been overwhelming. That's why I need to speak with my wife. So if you will excuse us.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
We should be so lucky. We need to get a plan in place, because if David decides to ditch the robes and lay claim to everything that we own, we're going to have to move, and we're going to have to move fast. What?
I find it remarkable. David is your brother. Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, why in God's name would we tell you?
Easy.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe for the children. He is their uncle now.
And your good friend?
All the more reason.
What? To tell you so you can tell him? Viki, do you not understand what's going on here? Those children you just talked about? Your good friend David could take everything that they own. It's a codicil! When did he write it? How the hell would I know when he wrote it? Well, yeah, Asa was crazy. Paul was crazy his whole life. I don't know, David says he's now he's a Buddhist. How the hell would I know what he's thinking? Hey.
There's nothing you can do about it now, Dad? Except drink.
All right. Tasa.
World's biggest son of a bitch.